Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Train Sim World 5 video. You join us on the East Coastway route. We're going to be travelling from Brighton over to Eastbourne. Unfortunately not as far as Orr as the train's going to be going, but yeah, over to Eastbourne. So let's get started, let's hop in. We are basically ready to go. I've already set the train up, so let's get the doors shut. And then we're going to be calling out Falmer, Lewes, Glynde, Polegate and Eastbourne. So we're quite a sort of a quick one. Let's do that and let's get going. We're off. Out of Brighton we go. And hopefully you won't notice any difference with this video, but I am recording this using the classic OBS studios. As I have actually done this video already, but it completely screwed up using Streamlabs OBS, which is the one I've basically used forever. But basically what happened, I did the full run, the video was on ×2 playback speed, so it was cut in half, but just double as quick, and the audio was at normal speed. So I'm using the OBS Classic for this, so yeah, hopefully you won't notice any difference. Cool. I've got 30 coming up. Yeah, back on the East Coastway. We haven't been on this route in, well, a long time on video or even on stream. Mostly for the fact it just looks so dated now. I mean, even when I'm not recording or streaming, I never play this route. Same with Brighton Mainline. It's got to the, I just don't play it. It's sort of in my own time. Because yeah, it just looks old and dated, as opposed to say Cardiff, even South Eastern High Speed with the upgrades on there. Yeah, just don't really play these old ones anymore because sort of how dated they look now. I mean, this route's been out 5.5 years almost, which has gone quite quick. Yeah, 5.5 years, which is, yeah, crazy. And well, not really a lot's happened with it really. I mean, we had the 313 come out, which still has various issues on it, like the headlights don't load in until, well, the headlight doesn't load in until really late. 55, and also, yeah, you still haven't got the Brighton Mainline 37, or even, well, no, you wouldn't have the West Coast Mainline one, but you don't have the Brighton Mainline 377 on here, which was one of the things they talked about when this route, well, when BML first come out, it was getting the newer 377 at the time onto this route, but never happened. Someone come on, save our souls and rebuild East Coastway. That would be great. Now through Molescombe. There you go, nice and quick through there. Lovely. But yeah, this is the second time I'm recording this. That's the first time all buggered up, and that was, well, a few days ago. But I'm sort of glad I'm re-recording this, as when I did record that, I'd been on like a super early shift, so I was like half asleep for the whole video. So quite good we're now coming back. Right, we're at 72, just went over Lewes Road. So we're coming up to Falmer fairly soon. So there is a 60-mile-an-hour limit, so let's pop the brakes on for that. Cool. And also, I think the first time I recorded this, I actually stopped at Berwick as well, which we're not scheduled to stop at Berwick. Just so used to the current day timetable on here, because this would be the 10:56 service to Eastbourne out of Brighton, and that's all stops to Eastbourne. But sadly, you don't get any sort of diagram in the cab. Would sort of be cool if that was something they would add in a future update, just to make HUDless better. Is having some sort of diagram in the cab which tells you the stops. That would be awesome to see. Right, this is Falmer. Cool. Falmer. Here we are. Home of Brighton and Hove Albion. We're still sticking to the timetable at this stage, but look at the times on the timetable. They're so weird on this one. This is part of sort of the 313 DLC timetable, where it almost seems a bit like auto-generated. Whereas if you look at the original, just sort of East Coastway timetable, the East Coastway 2020 timetable, I think it is, or 2019 really, it looks a lot more how it should. Right, Lewes up next. Put into power 2, as it's quite a gradient up here. One of the only better things about this 377 over the newer versions is the horn. The horn sounds a lot better on this one. There it goes. Still surprised they actually got the branding for Brighton and Hove Albion on this. Look at that. And then to Falmer tunnels. It goes back up to 70. Although once we come out the tunnel, it's quite steep going downhill. Lovely. Cool. So I'll get it up to about, what, 62, 63, and we'll just coast after that. Coast down the hill. Next speed drop is 55. That's just after sort of Kingston Ridge. Well, Kingston Ridge bus stop. Basically, once we go over the A27. So down we go. Yeah, very steep down here. You're sort of going almost from the top of the downs down to, well, almost sea level, which sort of Lewes is almost down, or basically out. This Lewes station did used to flood a lot. Not so much anymore, I suppose, as flood defences are probably a lot better now. Yeah, it used to flood quite a lot, Lewes. The river right next door. Cool. Cool. So we head on down. So it's not so interesting scenery out to the left. The good scenery is on the right. The rolling hills of the downs. You can see Lewes is approaching down there. And that down there is sort of Kingston Ridge bus stop, I think that one's called down there. So we'll start coming down for the 55. Does look quite good on this run though. I've set this one to, yeah, May I've set this to. Because of all of the old routes look really dark if you do them sort of in winter, like too dark. But they only basically look good in the summer months. We're down for the 55. And you got the warning for the 10 mile an hour. That's what the AWS magnet there's for. Through Kingston Tunnel. There we are. Yeah, the timetable's so much different now. Was this a set, what, in 2019? I think the timetable's set. Although the route is set, like the scenery is a few years before that. Yeah, this would be, I suppose the modern day equivalent of this service would be the 1056 service to Eastbourne, which is all stops. But yeah, on here it's 11:01 out of Brighton to Orr. I think the 11:31 goes to Hastings. There's South over up there, South over High Street. Yeah. So that on this timetable, the 01 is Orr and the 31 is Hastings, whereas now it's 26 past goes to Orr, which is sort of a semi-fast one. That's a bit like this one. And then the 10, no hang on, then the 56 past is the all stations Eastbourne service. Probably the reason why I stopped at Berwick on the first take of this, because it's I mean, once you get to Lewes, it's very much similar to doing, well, the 56 past all stops. Wish there was a modern timetable for this though. This is Lewes. Cool. And then the Seaford services out of Brighton on this game are 11 past and 41 past. Nowadays they're at 6 past and 36 past, but you spend 7 minutes waiting at Lewes in real life now to connect with the London and the up London and down London service. Yeah, this is Lewes. Very nice station. Why's the PIS not working on that? What's going on? So at 11:13, 54 seconds we were meant to leave. Like what? And then Glynde after this. So we've got Glynde, Polegate, Eastbourne. Close in. Cool, and let's get going. Over to Glynde. And something about this route, which I still don't know why it didn't ever get added, is the abundance of the 1 Foxtrot services, being the Eastbourne to Victoria, or the Victoria services, which would go in and out of platform 1 and 2. They're just not in the game. Never have been. I don't know why, unless for some reason they thought it would make it too busy. But have they ever mentioned why they weren't there? Yeah, weird. I mean, it's still a busy route without them, but yeah, it would have sort of been nice to see. That's why, please, someone remake this route. Do it for Dovetail. Right, and off we go. Up to 40. And then 60, 70, 80, 90. Cool. So I'll be, well, in real life today actually, as I'm recording this later on, I'll be doing this about 3 times. We'll be going to Seaford. 3 Seafords and a Chichester. That's the agenda for today, in real life. Not as the driver. So 6, then we come to Sutherland Junction. Off there to the right down to Seaford, which is what I'll be doing 3 of today. Much prefer working the East Coast to the West Coast in real life, as the East Coast you've got sort of bigger gaps between stations, so you can get through the train a lot easier checking tickets, whereas on the West Coast, if you're for a Chichester all stops, you're literally stopping every minute or so, so you get through not even half a coach, and it's like, oh, got to poke your head out, etc. It's yeah, much prefer the East Coast, and also the clientele is usually much more friendlier. Probably because it's all a countryside along here. Actually, hardly ever have issues on the East Coast. Touch wood, there's some wood. Whereas on the West Coast, you've got quite a bit of fare evasion, so you've got to sort of argue with people about getting tickets and stuff, and having to get them off the train. And whereas here it's chill, mostly, and it's countryside, so it's nice scenery. Whereas the West Coast is all built up. Right, start slowing down for Glynde. Step 2 at the moment, just bringing us down quite nicely. Not really a lot at Glynde, really. There's Glynde School, obviously a little village, but apart from that, not a lot. Yeah, not a lot goes on here. And I think it's 6 coach long platforms as well. Then you sort of never really stop here with like a big train, not often. Well, at least I don't. And here we are. Glynde, not Glynde. Nice. I swear in real life there's an entrance here. Like it goes up, there's like a ramp here. Somewhere. Never really noticed this big one here. Sort of hidden by the bridge, I suppose. Right, let's get the doors shut. And then off we go. Off to Polegate. Not Berwick. 8 miles. Right. Let's go. But now on these southern trains, on this route, it's you don't get conductors. Well, no, there are still conductors with Southern, or guards, who do the ding ding and close the doors. That being on the diesel routes, so Eastbourne to Ashford International, London Bridge to Uckfield, and then there's also conductors on the West London line services, between... Well, I think they actually get on at Clapham Junction and go to Watford Junction. Although I don't think they control the doors on that. It's like a half and half mix between OBS and conductor. Right, let's get that up to 80 now. Whereas, yeah, onboard supervisors, which replaced conductors on most routes back in sort of 2015, 2016. Yeah, so you do everything a guard does, you just don't do the ding ding and close the doors. Well, I suppose you still are a conductor, you just don't do the doors or the ding ding. But you still go around checking tickets and everything else. Although saying that, if there's, say if I step out onto the platform at Chichester, it happens quite a bit. You'll have a red light at the end of the platform for the level crossing barriers. So I'll keep my key on, because basically having the key on keeps the door open. That can't be shut. So yeah, I keep my key on until the signal changes. Although there's a certain city, there's a Emsworth station, which is on the West Coastway. I think it's Signal Hotel Tango 390. A lot of the time it stays at red, so the signaller has to give the driver authority to pass it at danger. So you'll have your key on there, and then the driver will just sort of buzz you up and be like, "Oh, we're going through it at danger." It's like, all right, mate. And then yeah, off we go. And then we went over right plane level crossing. Because before the job I do now, I did dispatching. So that was basically what a guard would do, but on the platforms. So red lights are bad things. Don't go through them. Don't close the doors on red lights. Unless you've got permission. It is in fact 90 now as well. So let's get the power going. So I think it's Selmerston level crossing next, and then once we get past that, we'll be coming up to Glynde, up to Berwick. It's 90 through Berwick in this direction, on the down. If you're going the other way, it comes down to 75. Right, not stopping at Berwick. So I wish you had some sort of diagram in the cab though. So you can sort of, you know, HUDless, you can sort of have a quick glimpse, oh yeah, Polegate, not Berwick. But sadly you don't get that in the game. I do hope at some point that happens. Right through Berwick. And then down to 80. It's a really weird little 80 limit. Like a really bizarre one. I wonder if it is actually still there in real life. I'll have to check. But it's like, I think it is just for this little bridge here or something. But you look at the 80 there, and literally just after it back up to 90. The 80 here, and then the 90 just after this bridge here. It's just a really sort of bizarre decrease in the limit. 90 again now. It's like, what? What's that all about? So there is a level crossing along this bit, Warmington level crossing. That will be coming up soonish. That doesn't look too bad, this route though, does it? Again, not something I really play off video anymore. But yeah, it's not too bad. I just wish it had a remaster or something done to it. This one probably could have a remaster a lot easier than Brighton Mainline. But it's just a case of would it happen? Don't know, because I think was it Dovetail Games Liam who's doing the remasters for Great Western, West Somerset. I think he said Great Western was like the last one he's doing. Whether that was just saying it certainly doesn't give away anything. But yeah, so I don't know if we would see this remastered. It's a lovely route, and it's not just A to B, you've got the Seaford branch as well. Sort of adds to it. Right, let's start slowing down. This is where in real life I'd start making my announcements for local stagecoach bus services towards Helsham, Heathfield and Hurst-Monsoon. Which Helsham and Heathfield used to have a railway going to them. Hence the way I announce in real life the buses to them. They used to have a railway going to them. And Hurst-Monsoon, I think there's a castle there, so it's quite a touristy sort of village. It's like Chichester, always announce buses there as well. Well, it's the main ones, the 51, the 52, the 53 and the 60. Because they were sort of popular, some of them ex-railway places. So a bit of gradient coming down into Polegate. Here we are. That's the 2 to 3 car stop. Yeah, if someone can redo this route though, you have all my attention. Right, here we are, that will do. Cool, and this is, yeah, Polegate. Yeah, just imagine being able to drive this route all the way to, say, Brighton to Orr. Like a full end-to-end run. But then you could sit on the same train all day long. Which I suppose you can on this route, going Seaford and back all day long. But yeah, up to Bexhill, Hastings, Orr. That bit's lovely scenery along there. Right, onwards to not Hampden Park, onwards to Eastbourne. So I'm so used to the sort of current day timetable, where yeah, this would, I mean, the times are very similar to that of the 10:56 Eastbourne service, which is all stops. Right, up to 35. So it used to be a triangle here, sort of a triangle. You had like a line which went off here and connected up here, sort of near Pevensey. But that doesn't obviously exist anymore. But I suppose that would sort of eliminate the need to go into Eastbourne. So you have to go in there to then come back out. That's a 70. And let's go. Cool. Yeah, again, hopefully the recording's been alright. Sort of getting used to OBS a bit. It's got so many different things like start virtual camera. What on earth's that? What's a virtual camera? and that studio mode, and I'll probably still be able to stream from Streamlabs. I've never had an issue with that. It's just all recording on Streamlabs is unreliable. As I say, sometimes it will update and change your settings. Sometimes I'll record and then it will freeze halfway through. Literally, well, actually that hasn't happened in a long time. But I don't know if it's like a bug with it or something. And then yeah, then it was doing the issue where it would make my video ×2 speed, but audio was still ×1. So it's bin Streamlabs off for the time being. They're coming up on Willingdon Junction. You can see the line there. That goes up to Pevensey and West Ham, Pevensey Bay, Normans Bay, Cooden Beach, Coddington, Bexhill, St Leonard's Warrior Square, Hastings, or that's where the East Coastway ends at Hastings, but then you've got the Marsh-Link or Three Oaks, Dolan, Winchelsea, Rye, Appledore, Ham Street, and well, Ashford International. That goes up that way. Quite a few short platforms as well. Like Normans Bay is front 3 coaches only. Well, at this stage it would be rear 3 coaches. That's one thing you've got to remember when you're working these trains, especially if you're doing a 1 Foxtrot service. You've got to remember that it's once it's sort of, yeah, say if you're starting at Victoria or something, you've got to remember that the train reverses at Eastbourne. It's rear 3, rear, what was it, rear 5, well, no, hang on, front 5 coaches for Pevensey and West Ham. Pevensey Bay, I've never stopped there. No, I have stopped there. I think that's, I don't know actually. Pevensey Bay, is that 3 or 4? I think that's 4. 4 coaches, I think. I think that's slightly longer than Normans Bay. Normans Bay is 3. Front 3 coaches, which is Diddy. No one ever, I think I've only ever seen one person get on at Normans Bay. It's like, it has a fairly, I think it's every hour there as well. And then Cooden Beach is front 6 coaches. Connington's 4. Yeah, those are short platforms. The Pevensey Bay, I think that might be 4. I don't think that's a 3. Cool, and then we come down to 25. We've got a double yellow, so that should clear us into Eastbourne. I wonder what platform we're going to come in and on. Platform 2. 2's usually one you come into if you're continuing to or. There's the platform 1, that's usually for Brighton. Yeah, platform 2. Go. And we enter the platform about 15 miles an hour. 15 miles an hour. We want to enter the platform at, as it's a terminating station with buffer stops. Here we are. Go. Lovely. And even more. See, Seaford's a really like weird one. Like, I ain't coming into Seaford. Yeah, it's really slow. Yeah, drivers go really slow into there. So the TPWS magnet must be really strict. I see something like probably about 5 miles an hour, but like quite a way back. But yeah, here we are. I think it's called like the Sunshine Coast or something. It has like, yeah, welcome to sunny Eastbourne or something. The Sunshine Coast. And here we are. This is Eastbourne, EBN. There we go. Well, that is going to be it, everybody, for today's Train Sim World. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed it. That was upset Molescombe. Links can be found all the usual places. Discord, PayPal, merch store, which I actually don't have on the overlays yet. Also our affiliate link for the lovely UK departure boards, or the New Haven Harbour service. That goes into New Haven Marine. That's a really good duty, that one. But yeah, apart from that, see you all and take care. This might work. Hopefully it won't be too noisy. But see you all. Take care. Bye, guys.